Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Let's go. I've got to talk about this because this is in my wheelhouse. This is something I'm very, very passionate about as a coach, trainer, mental performance coach, and all of that with young athletes. And to listen to Caitlin Clark talk about this gives you a lot of insight into why she is the player that she is. Now, look, talent, natural talent plays a huge role. However, mentality is what separates the talents. And it's what allows athletes that don't have as much natural talent to actually exceed and outperform those with a lot of talent who don't have the right mentality. There are players that get to the pros just on their talent and might still be good, but they're nowhere near as good as they should be. And then there are players that surpass them that don't have that natural talent. So Caitlin Clark is kind of asked here about her off season. So I think this is really interesting to listen to, and I want to give you some of my comments and my feedback and reaction to it and what I think and what I think it means for Caitlin Clark's career going forward. This is about a minute and a half. I will try not to pause. I might pause once or twice. Just I don't know if I can remember everything I want to say based on our comments on 90 seconds. Okay, but I'm gonna give it a try.
I think becoming a pro is where you learn a lot. And, I could have gone through this whole offseason and not done anything. Like, that's just the reality. Like, there's not a team lift scheduled on your phone in the middle of the summer. Like, that's just not how it works. Like, you're a professional. Like, you make your calendar, you make your schedule, you make your routine, you make your workouts. And, you have to be diligent in that. And I think, I'm one of those players that loves to know I'm getting every single thing done. So I think it's just having discipline, and I feel like that's what I've always had in my life, and that's a skill like not everybody can have all the time. So I feel very fortunate of the coaches, the mentors, the other teammates that I've had that have held me accountable throughout my life. Like, once you become a pro, like these are the things that really matter. You have to act like that. You have to, be accountable in January to your teammates now. Like, what are you doing in January to be better for the moments like tomorrow? And for myself, like, I know there's so much room for me to improve. Like, that's always what I remind myself. And for me, it's like I don't really have to find motivation to get in the gym. Like, sure, like, I mean, I can be motivated that we like made it to the playoffs and lost both games, but like, I love it. Like, I crave wanting to be better. I know I can get a lot better. Like, I don't think I've arrived by any means. I don't think I'm at the peak of my game yet. So it's just like, grinding for those moments and being consistent. Like, if you do it once a week, like, that's never going to show up all summer long. So just being consistent and having a routine and continue to do it over and over. So when we get into moments in, September and October, those things really shine.
Wow. Wow. There's so much good stuff there. And what is absolutely crazy is what she's saying about the off season and being accountable. And this is the stuff you should be. It's so rare. That's what's wild to me. Like, to me, this is how every athlete should be who's trying to achieve something in their sport. And yet it is rare. I have trained and coached a handful of athletes. Now, they didn't have this kind of talent. Oh, one, I'll let you know. She's in high school. She's going to be playing in college soccer, and yeah, she's got a lot mentally and physically. But I've trained in some other athletes who went on to play in college as well. I got one who might be playing overseas because she's going over there for graduate school. And but anyway, that it is just as a coach, as a trainer, it is such a sheer joy to coach this type of athlete. It's like the ideal athlete that you want to coach. And this just reminds me so much of, now there are others, right? There are other all-time greats, but leaving it to basketball, this reminds me so much of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Same exact thing. And that's what said. And what does everybody who knows basketball, knows a little history, and knows those two players talk about that separated them from everyone else? Their mental game, their mental performance. Okay, that reminds me of a story like what she's talking about and doing all these things reminds me of the story of with Kobe Bryant. And I think I used this story in a book. I wrote a book on confidence for young athletes. I tailored it to soccer, but I think it really applies to all sports. It's just the examples were soccer in the book. But anyway, It reminds me of a story of Kobe Bryant. I forget the year, but maybe 2008, I think. Was that an Olympic year, right? That was an Olympic year, right? Uh, yeah, Summer Olympics. So the team, I think they were getting together for like the first time. It was training camp, and they were doing it in Vegas, which really dumb idea, but that's what they were doing. So of course, these athletes, they're rich, they're famous, they're young. It's Las Vegas, right? They get there, so they're going out the first night. The only one who didn't go was Kobe Bryant. Why? Because he was getting up early to get in his workout, not the stuff he does with the team, but his workout. He was getting into the gym and training. And all the other players on the team were coming back and ran into Kobe, who was getting up to go do his workout. And as the story goes, for the time they were there, by the end of that week, the entire team was staying in and getting up and going to train with Kobe Bryant. That is what and Caitlin Clark is that type of player, right? I've said many times, oh, should Bree Turner be on this team? I'm still not sure. But from everything I've seen because of the clips, it sure seems like when Bree Turner arrived, she was in the gym with Caitlin Clark almost all the time. And shout out to her for that. And that is leadership that is so important, because leadership isn't always being vocal. It's leading by example. And that type of stuff can be contagious. And this is the type of thing, this type of mentality that gives Caitlin Clark a chance to be the greatest women's basketball player of all time, because she is going to maximize every little bit of God-given natural talent she has. She's going to squeeze every single little drop out of her body that she can, because she has the mentality to do so. Real quick again on Kobe, just because, again, the area he grew up in, Philly. I know he spent some time in Italy, but he grew up in Philly. For those who don't know, his dad was Joe Bryant, who was a pro ball player who played for the Sixers for a time. And Kobe actually built a relationship with the coaching staff at St. Joe's when he was a kid, because that would get him into the gym. He was in the gym all day, every day, working on his game, to the point when the coach had to went away for something or whatever, and the gym was going to be locked up for a number of days. They gave Kobe the keys. They gave this teenage boy the keys to trust him, to allow him to get into the gym and train. That's the type of player that Caitlin Clark is, what we call a gym rat. And gym rats have become very, very rare. But it was just such a joy for me to listen to this, as wild as that might sound. I could go really honestly hours on this topic of mental performance and confidence and all that stuff, and just having that mentality. But that is the thing that separates them at the top. I would tell my young players all the time, and obviously the degree differs with ages, right? You depending on age, you can push so hard. You're not. We all know about the crazy parents in sports with their 8-year-old and wanting them to train 40 hours a week and all that, but you gotta. You know what I'm saying. I won't get into that, but I've always told my players, say, look, if all you're doing is coming to team training, twice a week or 3 times a week, whatever it is, and you don't do anything on your own, eventually a lot of other players are going to surpass you. So if you really enjoy playing, you have got to dedicate some time on your own for training, on your own with the ball, on your own when they hit a certain age, in the gym with strength training and all that. You have to take it upon yourself to do these things to reach the next level. And as you can hear from Caitlin Clark, that is absolutely what she does. Caitlin Clark is going to get everything she can out of Caitlin Clark to have the best career she can possibly have. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit, because I absolutely love everything that she's saying there. It's such a joy to coach those type of athletes. It's such a joy to watch those type of athletes compete and perform. And it just seems like they're all too rare nowadays. A lot of them going through the motions and just relying on their natural talent. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Really do appreciate you checking out this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill by now. Helps out tremendously. We're rolling on our way to, I'm not even going to say 13. Come on, we're rolling on our way to 15,000. It's the start of the season. All these bigger channels that have no idea what they're doing. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.